Hi there, Sandy Freschi here, back with another video. Thank you so much for joining me. Today, our topic is defined gates on undefined energy centers. What does that mean? So before we get started, if you're new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. And if you find this video helpful, there's a subscribe button or a follow button or something here where you can just press it and get notified when new videos are uploaded. And if you do find this useful, or if you know someone who can benefit from this video, from this topic, please do share this video with them. So, several people in my Deconditioning Blueprint online course have been talking about defined gates on undefined energy centers, and I believe there was a person here on this channel who actually asked that same question. What does it mean when you have defined gates on undefined energy centers? So let's look at the chart so we're all on the same page about what we're talking about. Here is an undefined energy center, and here are defined gates. We call these hanging gates because they're not channels. Like over here, two gates make a channel and they define two energy centers. Well, you can have a defined hanging gate off of a defined energy center, and that means that you have consistent access to the function of the way that this type of energy functions, and to the way that this gate, to the characteristic that this gate indicates that you have within you. So when you have an undefined energy center and you have these hanging gates off of your undefined energy center, you still have these fixed characteristics, but you have inconsistent access to the fixed characteristics. So you may already know, and if you don't, I'm going to tell you that when you have undefined energy centers, this is where you are designed to take in the energy from the outside and experience it in an amplified way, and perhaps even in a distorted way. It's very important for you to understand what happens with these defined gates, because they can play a major part in how you experience the conditioning behaviors that can be developed through your inconsistent experience with the undefined center. So just to make this clear, the defined gates are your fixed characteristics, whether they're on a defined energy center or an undefined energy center. But when they're on an undefined energy center, you have an intermittent access to it. So we call these dormant gates. They're sort of like things within you that are brought out of you when you either dance with the astrological transits, the gates that that are in the transits that you would be experiencing when they're coming through the cosmic weather, so to speak, or when other people have those defined gates that would meet with your defined gates in their chart. So what this also means is that these defined gates are conditioning receptors. So I'll give you an example here, because, well, let me tell you what a conditioning receptor is, because you may be scratching your head if you're kind of new to all of this stuff. It's kind of like a funnel, or like the end of a hose, and you're reaching out for that connection piece to get the water or get the energy to move through into this center. So for instance, I have, this is my chart. So I have gate 30 here on an undefined emotional solar plexus. So naturally, normally for me, it is not my nature to be extra emotional. It is not in my true nature to have emotional ups and downs like people who have a defined emotional center would have. But when the gate 41 comes through the transits, which it actually did, where this is being recorded in early February of 2021. So back in January 21st, the sun was in gate 41 at the Human Design New Year. So what that does, whenever someone who's in my presence has the 41, or it comes through the transits, what that does is it gives me the experience of being extra emotional and kind of extra passionate around desires, because that's what this entire channel is about, and that's what this gate 30 is about. Wanting to having these big dreams and these big desires to have the next experience. And for me, with this gate 30, it's actually in line 4. My conscious moon is in 30 line 4. So I'm sort of extra driven at those times when this energy, this characteristic is brought out of me to propel myself by way of the amplified emotions that are coming through my body to experience this huge amount of desire that is also interpreted in the line 4 as burnout. Before my deconditioning journey, this was like one of my big Achilles heels, because I didn't know, right? I didn't know that when I felt amplified emotions, it meant that I was amplifying other people's emotions. Like, I didn't know when I was feeling extra passion that it was not part of my true nature to act on those passions, right? To go to try and make my desires happen. I didn't know that. But at certain times, I would experience these this ever growing, that's how I can explain it, this ever growing, expanding sense of emotionality and desire that was really kind of insatiable. And the way that I would interpret it is that the plates would start to spin. Like, if you've ever seen like a circus act or something where somebody is spinning plates, they put a plate on a stick and they start to spin it, and then they do another one, and then they do another one, and then they do another one. I would get so caught up in that emotional energy and that theme of the 4130, that big dream and desire, that I would take on more and more and more. And being a projector, you can see how not knowing enough is enough, and then having those gates come in to bring up what is dormant within me, which then amplifies the energy that I'm experiencing through those centers, would put me into this place where I would experience that theme of burnout in a very, very strong way. So I'm going to encourage you, if you have a lot of these gates that are hanging, dormant gates that are hanging off of your undefined energy centers, to do a little bit of study on what those gates are about, and also get really good at understanding what in traditional human design we call the not self-expression is of the undefined centers, so that you can increase your awareness about how you experience conditioning forces in your life, whether it be through the transits or through other people. What conditioned behaviors have you developed that can be understood through defined gates that are conditioning receptors for your undefined centers, and how that's affecting you in your life now. That's all I have for you today. Thank you again for joining me, and there will be more to come later. So until the next time, be well.